Across Africa, wildlife numbers are declining. But in the southwest, a desert country has turned this trend around. Namibia has a troubled but familiar African history. Germany colonized it in a brutal takeover in the 19th century. Then the apartheid South African government took control. The white government fenced in wildlife, controlled it. But some conservationists argued that local people needed a stake in wildlife. Garth Owen Smith came to Namibia in the 1970s.
Game used to be very important to rural people in Africa, for meat, for skins, and for trade. But with colonialism, wildlife became state property, and for any local person to hunt was poaching. It was almost a Robin Hood syndrome that we were stealing what used to belong to us.
The country was fighting for independence. Poaching was rampant. Zebra, springbok, elephants, rhino, many species were close to extinction. Garth recruited local headmen to turn the poachers into game guards, to protect wildlife.
With traditional leaders in this area appointing their own game guards, people that they saw as reliable, who were living in the area all the time, and knew how the poachers operated, because some of them had been poachers, they were able to stop the poaching within a few years, and we haven't looked back from that.
Namibia won its independence in 1990. Garth worked with the new government to create what they called communal conservancies. Rural people ran them, like village councils. Each conservancy controlled the wildlife within its boundaries. This was a radical experiment. Save wildlife by giving ownership back to the rural farmers. Every year now, the farmers count their wildlife. They partner with private tourism companies to run lodges and host safaris. That means new jobs for Namibians, like Wilhelm Christian. He was a farmer once. Now he tracks animals for tourists. His trackers fan out and report what they see, like lion tracks. And there are things no ordinary person would see, like the angle of a rhino bite on a tree branch. Wilhelm finds a kudu killed by lions.
They took it on the front, and they took them down. The females they kill, and the male, that's the ones he starts feeding first. If they leave the carcass, then that's jackals and spotted hyenas, which is coming for the leftovers.
Living with predators is dangerous for people, too. At the Kohati Hoas Conservancy, community manager Albert Guraseb sets out on a donkey cart. He's doing damage control.
When the conservancy starts, the number of the predators it increase because we are looking after them.
And how did people's feelings about the predators change?
They are not happy about the increasing of the predators.
Today he visits Katrina Katitumosa. Katrina says a cheetah ate 3 of her goats. She saw the whole thing. The Conservancy workers can only pay part of the value of her goats. It's all the Conservancy can afford. At another farm, we meet Michael Guiseb. A bull elephant came to his farm one night, hunting for water. He heard it before he saw it.
Even the stomach of the elephant makes some noise. It's making that sort of noise. It's making that sort of noise, and you can hear it if the elephant is coming. Even whether it's a duck, if the elephant makes that noise, then you can hear it. Something is wrong here.
The elephant almost knocked down his cistern. It pushed over a windmill and ripped up water pipes. The Conservancy gave Michael diesel fuel to pump new water. Despite these conflicts, rural communities in Namibia have lined up to form new conservancies, 64 of them in a little over a decade. One reason? Free game. Once a year, conservancies invite professional hunters in to cull herds of antelope. Niels Nil came up from South Africa to shoot.
It's a certain amount of animals that must be shot for the community, that's given to them, and you take out that animals as clean as possible.
Big game hunters also pay thousands of dollars to shoot a lion or a cheetah or even an elephant. Trophy hunting is second only to tourist lodges for income. Tourists and hunters normally don't mix very well, but Garth Owen Smith says conservancies need hunting.
The perception in the eyes of many tourists, and usually urban people, is that wildlife is something sacred. We don't mind the cattle being killed or sheep or goats being killed, but you can't kill wildlife, which is a nonsensical perception.
Living with animals is risky, but it's working. As wildlife numbers decrease across Africa, here they're holding steady and in some cases increasing. That pleases John Casuona. He now runs the organization that coordinates the conservancy system.
People are making decisions, the same decision as they would make on their own livestock. They are making it on wildlife. So it gives you more stronger ownerships and a sense of ownerships that this thing is ours. You are proud of it and you make sure that you manage whatever you are having to ensure that it would support you for as long as you are on this planet.
Wildlife doesn't stay put, and some conservancies are left empty-handed. But the success of others shows that wilderness in Africa can pay its own way.
Yo,